to another episode of the House in Fata Morgan, a requiem for innocence. A lot of tragedy has happened. We lost Jacopo, leave the slave life to be the fake, true name of the Byrne family. And through the course of almost over a year, he's done a good job. However, unfortunately, in order for the stage process of one of a merchant trade instead of selling our own goods. And that has caused quite some difference. We've lost our good friend, we lost our good advisor, and through all that, we have now become the Byrne. You inherit the name Byrne, the previous lord of the manor, which is tragic. We've learned why Morg was the way that she was through her memories, her flashbacks, and now everything is starting to become full circle. Everything that we once knew will come to an end, and very shortly, or in this case, in a long time. Before I knew it, nearly 4 years had passed since the revolution. But then, not a soul dared defy my will. I was surrounded by people who supported my every decision. A few of them genuinely agreed with me on everything, obviously. But no one denied how much growth I brought about. And so as long as I continued to proceed results, I would continue to have their outward support. As a trading hub, the city flourished, but the citizens were less than thrilled about the work I was doing. The poor especially seemed to hold the greatest deal of anonymity to me. But I was reaching the point where I couldn't manage on the support of the upper crust alone. Simply dumping sacks of coin into the streets would end poverty, though an increasing tax on imported goods would undermine everything I built. Lacking an actual solution, all I could do was work to make them feel like they were better off than they actually were. Fortunately, it was much easier to pull the wool over the middle and lower class size. It was better to educate upper class. I started by building public recreational facilities where citizens had priority access to, and then it turns my eyes towards religion. About a year earlier, a part of the city expansion, a bridge was built across the river that served as the city effective border. A church has not been established in that new district, so I wanted to build one and gather a following. Conveniently enough, my predecessors had been in the process of building a second manor on the upper side of the river, and with a little bit of work, it could easily be repurposed into a church. Ah, so that's the manor. Once people started making use of the church, it would be simple to win their favor by making myself a generous patron. Faith was the ultimate blinder of the uneducated, and history showed time and again that religion could be a powerful tool in the right hands. But the higher foreign and merchant population in the city meant that no one particular religion had managed to take hold. The merchant especially tended to develop their own individual philosophies over the years, the few caring for much higher powers. That was a possible explanation for why the church had never had much sway in this region. There was therefore a chance that the whole thing could be a colossal waste of money. However, I recently caught wind of a curious rumor. There was a nun serving at a small church in the far edge of town who people have referred to as the Saintess. Ah, so this is where the lady... Maria! Come here, Sister Maria. Marie, the nun! This is where, you is from. Oh, what is it? We picked some flowers for you. Take a look, they're so pretty. Oh, why, thank you. They're beautiful. Eek! Get away from me! Ha ha ha, she fell for it. Ha! Hey now! Hey now! How many times did I tell you that's not nice to trick people? It's too much fun to tease, Sister Marie. That's hardly an excuse, it's still wrong. I'm your big sister here, so you need to treat me like... Ah, there's a bug on your dress. Ah! What? No, no way. Where is it? Get off, someone get off me. Just kidding, there's nothing there. Ha 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 ha. Ah! Get back here, you little rascals. Her name's Marie. Not quite I envision the so-called Satanist. She seeks out orphans to take in her care and offers food for the hungry, a shelter for the homeless, and rest for the weary. And where exactly did the funds of that come from? Herself, supposedly. I highly doubt she has that kind of money just sitting around. Look at the building. It's practically falling apart. Oh, wait a second. I get it. She make use of the church resources to fund her charity. That is correct, my lord. Is she really so foolish as to realize that's unsustainable? The locals are quite fond of her, but the same cannot be said for the priestess and the other nuns. Her work is causing them great financial stress. I'm not surprised. Shall I summon her? Do not bother. I see more than enough. Yes, my lord. What? You have something to say? No, my lord. I simply find it curious you took the time to come all the way out here where you have far more important work to tend to. Not that I would imply that your judgment is anything other than impeccable, my lord. I just thought the Satanist might be someone I knew. Pardon? But I was mistaken. They don't call her Satanist because she does God's work. They just call her that because she's a damn goody two-shoes. So much for words having actual meaning. Christ. I see. Lord Brainerd. 'Tis nothing. I'm heading back now. Yes, sir. Ah, Marie! The giant man's here. Come on now. Be polite. Good day, Marie. The kids seem to be doing quite well. Good day, Marie. The kids seem to be doing quite well. Oh, you have no idea. So in fact that this little hooligan found himself a wonderful handful of bugs. And goodness, he's about scared out of my skin. A little mischievous is a good thing. Their smiles wouldn't be half as bright at any other orphanage. I'm not so sure about that. In any case, here's what I've earned this week. No, I keep telling you that's not necessary. But you do accept teas, no? Yes, but still. You know, hardly enough to cover what you need, but please. No, that's not what I meant. It's your money, you should use it for yourself. I have nothing to use it on. You put it much better use than I would. Alright. Thank you. Well, try not to work yourself too hard, okay? I promise. Goodness. You really do make a lot in a week. I didn't realize carpentry paid so much. Indeed. I am fortunate to have found good work. Maybe I'll leave the church and take up carpentry myself. Just kidding. You kid. But you do quite well for yourself. You're strong enough to carry me, at least. That took every last bit of my strength I had. Ah, I see. Who is that man? With all the foreigners we got here, I've never seen one who looks like that. He's a frequent visitor to this church, though he does not appear to come for the charity. An Oriental, perhaps? Oriental? My former counsel told me of them once. A vagrant from the far east, who supposedly looked much like that man. How curious. Maybe he may be able to fool the nun, but I know damn well no carpenter the road makes that much in a week. There's something fishy about him. Look into that man, and tell me everything you can find about him. Yes, Lord Brainer. Now I'm heading back. He's probably killing again. In addition to the renovations of the church, I can gather intel of a far eastern man. I make sure to keep an eye out for any unusual rumors happening outside the city borders. Of all the ports of the sea, the one that caught my attention was a word of a witch who lived by the lake. The lakeside witch supposedly had miracle powers. No, Morgana, no! No, Morgana, no! And the effect of transmission through blood. This was the first time I read without a witch. An elderly woman who prepared and sold medicinal herbs. I hadn't realized she was a trade in miracles. It sounds like a bunch of snake oil to me, but she allegedly cured a deathly ill young girl to make her quite a name for herself. On top of that, they also said the sound of which first high hand ended a years-long drought in the village where she was born. This doesn't bode well. Why not, my lord? They're using their damn head once in a while, would ya? Two competing denominations form is so close together, you don't see how that could lead to all sorts of headaches. The objective is to unify the people under a single banner, to which I then pledged my support during their favor. But all that became moot in their faith towards this witch. The people do love their heroes and miracles, after all. It is quite an attractive proposition, I must say. I'm mocking them. You buffoon. I beg your pardon? The chance of it growing into something actually worth worrying about is slim, but better just let the flame out before it spreads and sits back and hope it burns itself out. Shall I deliver orders for a cease of operation then? That would be best. Actually, no. I will deal with this personally. You just keep your mouth shut and do exactly as you're ordered. Nothing more, nothing less. Understood? Yes, Lord. To start, summon the man for the church. Gets in. A few days later, I was standing face to face with the man in my audience room. He seemed much less personable in person than seeing him with the nun. Stone-faced, cold, and faintly smelled of blood. Not that I actually could smell blood, but there was an animalistic air emanating from him. Not much I'd expected, though. I knew before summoning him that he was anything but a respectable man. I take it that you're the Oriental man who's been seen buzzing around a local church of late? That would be me, yes. But what of it? Who do you think you're talking to, you impudent rat? Show some damn respect. I apologize. I'm not very familiar with the local custom or language. Very well then. You're fortunate on understanding, man. Now, for the reason why you're called here. You're the one who killed that cart full of slaves 4 years ago, aren't you? Oh my god, no. So, you know about that. I wasn't actually sure it was you, but now I have confirmation. Since then, one slave of Far East origin has remained unaccounted for. I take it that would be you. That's right. You made one hell of a mess out there. And I am to be punished. That depends on how our talk goes. If you think I'm going back to being a slave, you're fooling yourself. Pfft, I don't need any more damn slaves. I certainly don't want you as one. You're obviously not finding any reasonable work in being a next slave. So I take you're still in the business of getting your hands dirty? Are you not? I'm assuming you're playing cat burglar or something, living off whatever you can swipe for the nearest unlucky bastard. Correct. Isn't it comical, then, that you would choose God's sacred house to stretch your legs in, you filthy dog? I absolutely agree. I thought that you would get a reaction out of you, but it seems you got no bite in you today. Never mind, let's get down to business. You're gonna help me with a little something I'm working on. Help you with what exactly? Something that's gonna make me a lot of money, and if you lend a hand, I'll make sure you're well taken care of, along with that church you're so fond of, and the nun you've taken a liking to. The nun of yours have made quite a name for herself. Our city, out in the city proper, people are starting to call her the Sataness. They're right about that. She is. Haha. The commoners love their heroes and saints. Indeed, that rubbish right up. But say or not, you simply create food from nothing. Her work has caused financial trouble for the church, is it not? It is, yes. If you help me with this, I'm offering you an entirely new church. One where she can complete control to do whatever she wishes. She'll make it into the biggest church in the city. She'll be able to help out even more people, which she certainly pleases her. What would you have me do? Jumping at the first with the scraps. You really are a dog, aren't you? I do not like the conversation that overstayed their welcome. Fair enough. Let's get to business. Not far here lives a witch whose blood has the power to cause miracles. Miracle blood? Sounds like a shame to me. You never know. They say the sound of her first cry brought a rain to the land where she was born, saving the whole village from drought. Morgana. They say her blood has the power to cure any disease. I worry about the vanity of the rumors lately. Right now, all I want is for you to capture and bring it to me. Explain something to me, Lord. You said if I help you, the nun will be able to save more people than she does now. So how does she capture this? So how does capturing this witch accomplish that? I'm glad you know. I'm glad to know. This doesn't make any sense. I'm glad you are listening, dog. We will turn the blood into miracle elixir, which she will then distribute to patrons of the church, in exchange for tithes, of course. Selling isn't quite the right word, but how would you want to think of it by all means? The commoners believe Satan's, handing out all the powerful miracle medicine. They'll lap it up. In turn, you'll make a fortune. Exactly. Money I can use to support her church. And I'll be a boon to the city economy as well. A single witch freedom is all it costs for everyone here to come out happy. So it'll be. Will you help, or will I have to? I'll help. I have no reason not to. Decisive and a good listener. Excellent. Once I capture this, where do I take her? I have a mansion set aside with a nun can run a church. There's an observation tower on the grounds. The witch will be kept locked up there to ensure we have a constant supply of blood. Okay. When do you want me to go get her? You're just chopping the bit now, aren't you? I thought you hesitate a little, but I guess that was foolish of me to presume to understand how the killer's minds work. All the resources I put into investigating you and everyone close to you were wasted, it seems. Do you have any conscience? I don't act like you're any different. I assure you, I do have conscience. I wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't necessary for the growth of the city. I mean, you're as much as a murderer as me. You would never come up with this with a scheme like this if your hands were clean. The man's right. You're nothing but a murderer. How deep has the blood seeped into your hands? How many of you killed, claiming their lives necessary sacrifices? And how many more will be at your abomination? Silence, spirit. That poor witch, blessed with the power to perform miracles, only to win her attention for the villainous Lord. It must be done. I have to explain myself to you. It's not like this old hack is long to live anyways. What the hell is villainous about having to spend the final days for the greater good of the city? So many lives will be improved for the cost of only one. I keep telling you that, boy. You keep telling yourself that, boy. But what you're doing is no different than my banquets. You're cut from the same cloth as the man standing before you, and the same cloth as me. Begone, Phantom. Watch your mouth, dog. Don't you dare insult me. I would never consent to your level. Damn it. That's the first time you showed up with someone else around. At least you behaved yourself today. I'm pretty sure you're smarter than most people I deal with. And you won't betray me either. Who knows how much longer you'll live, though. Stay. Don't touch until I say so. Oh. Quit pounding out like that. You're the Lord's dog. Stand tall and proud. Alright, here you are. Drink up. Looks like it's safe. I swear, so much work to give myself a damn drink of water. When I heard about the sickness, I thought it might be you. But it was someone else. And how would you get around to assuming that the search after Olean passed? There's no one around I could trust with a sensitive task. Though it's probably for the best I never did find you. We can't go back to the way we were before. There's not much chance you're even still alive. If by some strange chance you are still alive. What do you think of the man I've become? Several days later than the original plan, the Far Eastern man finally arrived at the mansion. I arranged to meet him here with the upmost level of the observation tower on the church grounds. That looks familiar. Morgana. About time. There's your witch. Doesn't sound like an elderly woman's voice, though. This stench. Tell me you didn't harm her, dog. I smell blood. You only instructed me not to kill her. You only instructed me not to kill her. Mistakes were made. Limbs were lost. Damn it. I cleaned up all the blood I got on me. No one suspects anything. He's even further gone than I imagined. I should have been clear in my instructions. Though I suppose it doesn't much matter. She's not going to live long either way. That you were able to immediately recognize it as a smell of blood says quite a bit, Lord. You have killed before, haven't you? Enough yapping. Is she alive? Yes? Of course. Fighting back aside, I tossed my gaze from the man to the bag. I felt sadly sorry for the woman, but the feeling didn't last long. I've seen too many bloody and mangled bodies, both dead and alive, to be fazed by one more. I crouched down to untie the bag, and a young girl came trembling free. It can't be. As soon as I saw her, I knew exactly who this girl was. It's been 4 years, but no length of time could wipe away my memories from those patches on her face, or those breathtaking golden eyes. But why? How? What was she doing inside the bag? Why had I ordered her capture? How could I have done that? Morgana? She was pale as death, shakingly visible. Confused seized me. A cloud of ring, swirling darkness forming before my eyes. The first thought that came to my mind was that he had gotten the wrong person. I had only ordered her capture because I thought the witch was by the lake and an old woman. But had I known she was a young girl, and let her alone, would never given the command. But those thoughts led nowhere. I was simply trying to avoid facing reality, trying to place the blame on anyone but myself. I couldn't take him back what had already been done. I couldn't change it. There she was, the girl which had once won my affection, lying in blood on the cold stone with an arm missing. It didn't matter how we had gotten here, or what I felt about her. There was no fixing what I had done. She looked at me at the source and muttering above her. Her eyes were open, almost frighteningly wide. And they were wider, aimlessly unfocused to the point I was assured she was. I felt a tingle of madness in her. Is that you? The words slipped from her lips, so soft barely reached my ears. Hardly a trace of beautiful singing voice, but my memory remained. It was horsey and raspy. Every sound simulation with an unfathomable deep-pitched black hatred for all of existence. You remember me? When she was even able to recognize me anymore? How could I ever forget? My God, she remembers me. The days we spent together. What kind of person I've been. The boy refused to give up, putting ointment on her face. All of her friends. Those horrible aromatic encounters at the grave. Her taking shots at me taking shots at her. Did she really remember all the time we shared? How could I forget? All the pain, no, and humiliation you put me through. What? How could I ever forget the blood savage you so loved to hold? What? What was she talking about? Haven't had enough, have you? Maybe scars that are ever to my body was enough for you? You haven't had to feel my blood. I couldn't even process the words I was hearing. There was little more than an angry, meaningless shouts crashing to me. What the hell was she saying? Did she think I was someone else? Did she think I was him? That I was Brainer? No, Morgana. That wasn't me. I wasn't the man who had caused you so much agony. Look at the girl. You claimed you have caused her pain. You're the man who bound me, cutting me up, called me a witch, and tried to kill me. I have forgotten for you even for a moment. No, I was the man who rescued you from him. I wanted to shout, but I couldn't grab the strength to force up a single word. Only gas came from my lips. It was like I was being robbed of my voice. I don't care how much my father preaches forgiveness. That's the one thing you'll never get from me. I despise you with all my soul. I revile you. With every fibre of my being. For every scar you gave me, I give you a lifetime of hatred. No, Morgana! I finally managed to pronounce the word. It was barely more than I was no Morgana. In our friendship, I had reach out for her. When I noticed a pair of narrow eyes glazing at me. I was not aware you knew the Witch Lord. I was not aware you knew the Witch Lord. Huh? Know her? I don't just know her. She's Morgana. She's a girl This man. The Lord? Assured me. Mind and body. No. She's not wrong. That was another man. You become that man to her. I am not Brainer. Did you hear yourself, boy? You're the rightful heir to the Brainer name, are you not? 'Twas what you said when you stole the throne from me. This man ruined my life. How would you respond, boy? Will you say it wasn't you? Can you say it wasn't you? How will you convince her? She's clearly not in her right mind. Would she understand if you have revealed the truth? How can you know you won't make it through to her? Will you tell her nothing more than a slum rap uprising that you deceived your way into power? That everything you built up over these years was all a lie? But you killed your former friends for nothing. That Odilon died for nothing? That you endure betrayal after betrayal for nothing? Nothing. Do you have a spine for it, boy? All the sacrifices you made, all the pain you suffered to make it here, all could all come crumbling down the moment you do. Will it be false, Lord? Is the girl worth it? Is sharing the truth with a half-dead girl on the brink of madness worth losing everything you worked so hard to accomplish? Make your choice. What's the matter, Lord? Yes, I know her. Or, I knew her years ago. I see. What do you want to do then, Lord? You look sick. You look... What I want to do, obviously. Why on earth? This doesn't change anything. You lock the witch up and proceed as planned. Did I make this choice? Congratulations, boy. This concludes your inheritance of the name Lord Brainer. Oh, here we go. 4 years earlier. We already know this tale, though. It wasn't until I lost everything that I truly understand just how blessed I've been. How much time within my all wounded my spirits. It would be hard they worked to mold me to an ordinary girl. But that was all gone now. I may not have said much, but I liked it there. I was quite fond of the tranquility. I didn't want to lose it too. I want to be as happy as everyone else. Again, I already know the story. I long lost track how far I walked. My legs were stiff and my knees didn't want to bend anymore. It took all my effort to remain upright, and I was certain I would never get back up if I fell down. Still, I couldn't wrap my mind around what had happened. It was all so sudden and all so horribly senseless. It was so mind-bogglingly horrendous. Part of me refused to believe it was anything more than a bad dream. All that was what kept me walking, because if I did accept it as reality, I would lose what remained of my will to live. It was supposed to be a party. The girls got together to celebrate my birthday, making food and treats that, while hardly extravagant, was still a significant improvement of what we usually had. Everyone was laughing. part of me was irritated by the whole affair. Had I never been comfortable as I have never been comfortable in such living environments. They were celebrating me, my birthday. I should have been overjoyed. Maybe this was my punishment for being so unappreciative. I assumed I stepped out, bandaged right at the brothel. Had I stayed there for a few minutes longer, things likely would have been turned out quite differently. Whether for better or worse, I couldn't begin to guess. At the very least, I probably wouldn't be here alone. I could have gone with them to the next life. During the raid, a man robbed me, and I lost conscience almost immediately after. When I woke, I was in a foul-smelling carriage. People were packed in the carriage like livestock, and there were dozens of them, every inch of the usable space filled with the body. Looking out across the cramped space, I knew instantly I was on my way to becoming a slave. Once I've been sold off as saint, a highly valuable commodity. But this time around, I was cheap, expendable labor. I was filled with overwhelming emptiness. That a realization struck. Something presumably sour wavered around the void as well. It wasn't sadness for my own predicament. It broke my heart knowing I would never see them again. That everyone that I had to thank for all those warm, peaceful days had either been killed or sold off. In time, the sadness swelled from tears in my eyes. My whole life I managed to endure without crying. The first time I did, I shed tears for someone. The man sitting next to me asked, "Hey, why are you crying?" To which I answered, "Because I'm sad because I didn't get the chance to show my gratitude to people very dear to me." But if that had been the end of our conversation, I wouldn't be here. Hobbling down this endless road alone, I wouldn't be covered in so much blood. Sometime after I had responded, the man suddenly stood up and murdered the guard and slave traders. At first, the other slaves thought they were being saved. At the moment, I believed so too. He was a very curious-looking man. His eyes smaller and narrower than ours. His nose a different shape. I'd never seen anyone who looked like him before. All I knew was that he wasn't from around here. The man wielding a sword stolen from a guard searched through the slave trader's clothes with the keys and shackles, which he gave to me and made me free his hands before proceeding to kill the slaves. I stood against the massacre unfolded before me. Blood pooled at my feet. Several limbs were strewn about the carriage. Bodies piled up haphazardly, many having only enough time for their eyes to go wide and shut before being cut down. Men, women, children, everyone equal to the end of his blade. The strange man laughed as he slaughtered the slaves. He laughed and laughed like he was having the time of his life. And when he was done, he stepped out of the carriage and wandered off, leaving me alone, the sole survivor. I witnessed so much death in so short a time. Cruel, meaningless violence. Its victims powerless to resist. And here I stood among the bodies left alive. For some inexplicable reason, left alive. The screams, the despair, pleas, the death, the laughter, all reverberating inside my head. Oh Father, who art in heaven, please give me your mercy. I cannot take it anymore. I pray, Free me from this pain. My spirit was about at its breaking point. I presumed that I too would sink to the bottomless abyss if I kept all these emotions inside me much longer. Up, there it is. I walked and walked and walked and walked. No food, no water. My exhaustion at its peak. My mind, complete haze. Off in the distance, I caught sight of a lake. So thirsty. Water. I began hobbling in the general direction of the lake, not caring that it took me off the main road. Bandits could have assailed me. Wild animals may be their prey. None of that mattered to me anymore. At least then I wouldn't have to walk anymore. For better or for worse, I made it to the lake. Unmolested? The water was clear as crystal. It seemed to sparkle like one as well. As soon as I was within reach, I dropped my knees and drank, and my thirst seemingly insatiable. The blood covering me had dried several days earlier, but its bitterness stench lingered. With a brief glance about my surroundings, I washed myself. The chill from the midwinter lake water and occasional gust of wind pierced me to my very bones, though no one in their right minds would have bathed in this weather. But common sense and the chattering of my teeth didn't stop me. I would want to be clean again, and the frigid water felt like I would strip everything away, leaving my body and spirit new and unsettled. Sleep. Once I was satisfied, I came to the bladdered realization that a small cottage sat on the lakeside. There's smoke coming from the chimney. Maybe there's someone inside. It could be someone bad though. Maybe it would be safer to stay away, but who knows where I might find someone else. Excuse me, is anyone there? Hello? The door's... yes, this is the cottage. I was burst into tears again. Sitting before the fireplace was an old woman. And clearly hung by the flames bubbled a curious colored liquid. Ma'am? The woman merely sat there, her head drooped. I slowly approached her, half certain of what I would find, and placed my hand around her shoulder. Huh? She was dead. But I hardly so much as batted an eye at the sight of yet another corpse. In fact, she looked like she passed quite peacefully by compromise. How blessed she was. There was no signs of bandits been rooting through the cottage. Presumably she had fallen asleep and passed away naturally, while in the middle of a concation. Looking around the room, I found myself surrounded by countless items I would begin to identify. Plants of all colors. Plants of all colors hanging from the ceiling to dry. Berries crushed and stored in small glass bottles. Right, I guess. The old woman made her living off herbal medicines. Having got a good look around the room, I thought that perhaps I'd been guided here. And if my father had led me to this place, he would not frown upon me doing what was necessary to make of it. So I dragged the old woman's corpse from the cottage and pushed into the lake. If I didn't take up residence at the cottage, someone else eventually would, or would just be left to deteriorate. And I would rather take the opportunity bestowed upon me to have a place to rest my weary soul. As the woman's body sank to the clear lake, a realization struck me. I hadn't crossed myself. A few days later, moving to the college, a man came to the door. Apparently, he had been a customer for a witch by trade and was looking for more medicine. When I spoke to him through the door, he gave a short gasp and said, Who are you? Where's the witch? I'm her granddaughter. She's not presently home. Huh? I never knew the old lady had kids. So, when she's gonna be back? Not for some time. Well, damn. You know much about herbs, girl? What? Well, as long as I get my medicine, I really don't care who supplies it. You, her, doesn't matter. I'll still pay. 1 minute, please. My knowledge of herbology was potentially non-existent. There was a possibility I could make a living off of it. There was no reason for me not to try. I asked the man to give me such information about the herbs he'd been receiving. Color, texture, smell, and not much about until I found something that fit the description. The entire exchange occurred through the barely cracked door. The man paid me his promise, but I quickly realized that money wasn't much use to me, so I had no intention to returning to the city. So that in the future, I would trade for supplies. He would happily agree to. A few days later, another man called upon to the cottage. Not the first man. He sounded crude and uncivilized. They wouldn't call for potential source of supplies, though. So I handed him the medicine he requested, but when I did, he let the lower snicker and said, What'd I say? I looked after you, girlie. They shoved his hand through the cracked door and grabbed my wrist. You ain't fooling me. The hag's dead. And just you, ain't it? Little girl like you need someone to look after. Make sure no bad man threaten you. Every word that came from this man's mouth oozed with sleaze. I knew what would have happened if he got opened the door. Let go! Whoa! I went back with all my strength, slammed the door shut, and set the bar. But even then was enough to quell my uneasiness, so I put a chair against as well. The man pounded on the door, each slam with his fist caused the whole room to vibrate. Overreact much? Hey girlie, come on, open up. I still ain't paid you yet. Bought something real nice too. Open up. I want you to have it. I don't need your payment. I'm never doing business with you again, so please get off my property. Want to say that again? You got a lot of nerve, you little bitch. You open the damn door. You don't want to know what happened if you don't. Got more for sale than just bags of leaves, don't you? Open the fucking door. Just stay quiet, Morgana. The best way to handle people like him is just not to respond. Good for nothing, you. One day you'll learn your lesson. This will eat a little girl like you right up. After giving the door one final patron kick, the man stormed off, loudly grumpy about how stupid and grateful I was all the while. I didn't deserve a word of his cursing. At the same time, I couldn't bring myself to be upset about it. He was right. The world would not be kind to a young girl living on her own. Not so long as a man like him roamed free. I paced before the fireplace, my mind racing. I couldn't be sure if I couldn't be sure I'm safe anywhere, not even here. But going back to the city isn't an option. Not while the Lord lives up throwing his blood Sabbaths. Everyone who might have protected me is gone. You don't know them, Morgana. I have to make it my own now. I have to be very careful about opening that door. I could be attacked again, or worse. I mean, most men will probably run as soon as they saw my face. But most doesn't mean all. There's some out there who will go after anyone. I can't let my guard down while I'm doing business, not even for a second. Man or woman, everyone's a potential threat. I'll make it on my own. I don't need anyone else. Me and only me. Beyond the years has really shown me just how sheltered I was at the brothel. How kind everyone was. How peaceful my life was. I just want to go back. No, stop it, Morgana. Stronger than that. I put enough wind the fire for it to last a whole night. Then I curled on the balls and slept bedside. For the first time in my life, solitude frightened me. Morgana? What? Were you planning to sleep here all day? Come on. You're not serene. Huh? About time. Good morning. A little remains of it anyways. What's that look? Still waking up? What are you doing here? Excuse me? Why would I not be here? That doesn't answer my question. How did you even... I feel like this one's gonna get me. Look dead to you? No, but still you... I thought you were killed during the rain. I know I'm no pushover. I wasn't going to let a bunch of bandits get the best of me. What? Were you worried? I thought you knew how to do what... And here I thought all you knew how to do was damn me to the fires of hell. Was I worried? Of course I was, you oblivious idiot! I never actually meant it when I said you shouldn't be cast into hell. Of course I want you to see you will lie. Of course, I would hurt. It would hurt. Of course, it would hurt me to lose you. I'm sorry. That was callous of me. I was afraid. I would never see you again. I thought I lost everything. Everyone. I was scared to death. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. No need to cry. You're tougher than that. I'm not crying. If you say so. What do you mean? I'm tougher than that. What do you think I am, made of stone? First you try to pretend like I'm a normal girl, and now you're acting like some kind of heartless creature. Make up your mind already. Sorry. Really? You're a perfectly ordinary girl, Morgana. Can't you see that look in my face? I'm looking at it right now. Even though I'm mean-spirited, bitter little girl. Even though you're mean-spirited, bitter little girl. Though it's nice to acknowledge it. Oh, burn in hell. Say, I want to ask you something. I want you not to call me weak for the first time. Let's hear it. Will you stay to be alone anymore? It terrifies me. Yeah, obviously. I'll sit right here. Forever. You know you won't be able to accomplish your dreams out here, right? And you're fine with that? You bet? You told me to stay. And stay I will. I live right at the lake. And there's some mountains nearby. All they consider, it's not a bad location. You can plant crops, go fishing in the lake, sprawl on the grass under the starry sky. Sounds like a good life to me. And maybe sometimes you could sing a little song. And I sit there listening quietly. Or if you want some combination, I could prompt some instructions. That sounds as nice to you as it does to me. Nothing. Seriously? What else could you want? How about... No. 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 That's more than enough. Huh? Yes. If you could have a life like that, I would have made every misfortune. It would have made every misfortune in my life with suffering. He's naughty. It was a dream. What else could it have been? He's dead. Just like everyone else. You don't know that. They're all dead in the raid. And even if he was alive, he wouldn't come looking for me. What a childish dream. Fight him, Morgana. Can I cry over a simple dream? You're the daughter of God. Your tears are only to be shed for others, not yourself. I pound my fist against the floor again and again and again, sobbing like a boon little child. I had never cried like this before. Not as I witnessed men, women, and children being slaughtered. Not when I was taken from my home. Not when I was chained up and tortured by the Lord. It wasn't until I realized just much how I needed that warmth, and that I would never have it again. That my spirit is rock bottom. I hurt worse than anything else. I wish I'd never known happiness. I wish no one ever showed me kindness. Not if it means I had to go through this. I wish I had never known what it was like to be normal. I could have just stayed the daughter of God my whole life. Then I wouldn't be feeling like this. I never knew crying like that was so exhausting. I never wanted to experience that again. I want to go back to who I used to be, a saint. If I didn't know happiness, or when I feel like this, I just had to forget it all. Let's put it in my life. It never happened. No peace, no rest, only trials for my father. That is all I ever know. It's hard. Just don't think about those years. Then you won't have to cry like this ever again. It's for the best. It's my only choice. See, I was always right. Never was and never will be normal. The only ones who offered me salvation were God or one of his angels. And so I did precisely that. I led a solitary life. I did all my business hidden behind the cottage door. I sent anyone who wasn't here for medicine. Once a mountain man in armor rode up to the cottage. He looked like a knight, but had no interest in getting involved with anyone who went around carrying weapons. I was responsible for my safety, so I had to be careful where I opened the door to. I had to be extra careful about who I dealt with. I didn't feel sad or lonely about it. Making that my normal? There was nothing to laminate. Which meant all memories served no purpose to cause me pain. So I endeavored to push them far, far away into the depths of my mind. I could have simply discarded my memories for what the Lord had done to me. Of course, or of all the wonderful people I had met at the brothel. But time tricked away, they fade into almost nothing. I couldn't describe what any one person's voice would sound like, how they acted around me, what kind of person they were, the things we did together, what they looked like, what their names was, anything of the importance. I knew good and well it was all colossus to forget, But all the people, clowns, people who had shown me such kindness and warmth. But I would never see them again, and think about them only brought me pain, so there was no point into remembering. It was all I could do to make it by. Nearly 4 years have passed since then. I assumed the role of the lakeside witch. My 16th birthday was approaching, but my age was perhaps the only thing I had in common with an ordinary teenage girl. Although if I had grown up like an ordinary girl, still my childhood is distinct before being held captive by the Lord and made into witness countless people's death. That would have been probably mean there was something deeply wrong with me. By that point, terrible cynicism has taken root in my heart. I built high walls around myself, keeping my contact with the outside world at rest and pragmatic as possible. With each passing day, my voice grew more monotonous, my interaction following a well-rehearsed script. My customers didn't make any attempt to force their way into my shelter either. I began this bit to my think of being not a witch by trade, but that I actually formed a pact with the devil who worked his dark magic. No one says much, but I could sense what seemed to be fear in their voice when they came to me. On the other hand, I never had anyone else try to force themselves into cause like that man 4 years earlier, so I would say I had a rather peaceful life. If you consider life with no one wanting anything to do with you peaceful, that is. I had also come to learn a far bit of herbology. I could now make my own medicine rather than just do what was already here when I moved in. Although a far bit still amounted to almost nothing when compared to what your predecessor was capable of. Nonetheless, I had relatively so grasped what the herbs used to treat different symptoms. Not the formless, the name of the lakeside witch at least. And so time flowed on, uneventful and quiet, until one day, a young man showed up to my door. Uh-oh, there he is. Excuse me, is anyone home? And you ran away, he was a new customer. No one had traded with me before bothered with such a pleasantry anymore. They wanted the process to be quick and frictionless. I prefer to do it that way as well. Who's there? When I responded beyond the door, he seemed to be taken aback. There several moments with no answer. I tensed up slightly and repeated the question. My sister has fallen ill, and she desperately needs medicine. Huh? He has a very pretty voice. I was told there's a person who lives here and is a skilled herbalist. Could always get something to treat her. What are her symptoms? She's got an extremely high fever that won't come down. She has no appetite, she only drinks water, and she can't get out of bed. Everyone's still looking for medicines for themselves. I haven't had a customer like him in some time now. We're going to want to lower her fever first. Either that, get her a nutritious diet. I'm going to give you some types of medications. Give her the first while her fever's high, and the second after it comes down. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. When was the last time someone thanked me? Here's your medicine. It's powdered, so mix it with some water and have your sister drink it. Are you gonna open the door any wider? Is that necessary? No, sorry. Just a second. Here, let me give you your money. I take supplies from our service, not money. Oh, I didn't realize. I'm sorry. This is all I have on me today. Will you be willing to accept this as payment today? Very well. Is that a gold coin? Those herbs are worth nearly as much as this. Just who is this man? What on earth is he doing here? At a witch cottage? any other situations, I would have not even attempted to look. If he saw me, he would think I'm disgusting, ridiculing me like everything else. I get hurt knowing what people thought of me. But it was hardly pleasant hearing it vocalized either. And what if he decided to do something the moment I dropped my guard? He could force the door open and have his way with me. It isn't that kind of man, though. Just about the farthest thing of my mind when interacting with people these days. I've always remained on high alert, keeping safe distance from everyone, no matter how good they appeared on the surface. For some reason, I felt strangely comfortable with this young man's presence. At that time, I couldn't have explained why, but in retrospect, I imagine it was a large result of his upbringing. He spoke in clear, undiced voice. He had a polite, friendly air about him, which could feel even through the door. It was sort of a well-mannered. You could fake it with a bit of practice. The only sort you encounter out in the middle of nowhere. Curiosity took hold of me. I had to know what he looked like. I was going to open the door and had no intention of letting him enter either. I just want to get a little peek at him through the crack in the door. So I opened it ever so slightly, wider than usual, and reached out to take his pants. Oh no, he saw me. Whoa. I didn't think you'd be so young. I guess you were a little older. We're a little older. What? Thank you for doing business with me. And I'm sorry if I hadn't kept me prepared. If I need any more, I'll be sure to bring supplies next time. Alright. Again, I really appreciate it. Have a nice day. You too. He saw my face, and he wasn't disgusted. He actually smiled. So caught off guard, I thought for a second that maybe my face had healed. So I ran over to the water base to get a glimpse of hope in my heart, gazing into my reflection. But the face looking back at me was the same as always, a grotesque, unsightly, patchy mess. Part of me was disappointed, but more than anything, I was flabbergasted at what had just happened. How could he smile at the sight of his face? For a split second, my mind slipped back into time 4 years. The man who applied ointment to my face. He had never seemed disturbed by my appearance either. Not long after, the young man called upon to my cottage again. You see, the medicine had briefly revealed his sister's symptoms, but that had failed to actually cure what ailed her. Other medicine required patience and persistence before the effects manifested, I informed him. To which he responded with a sad smile. He was a handsome young man, not far off what I imagined from his voice, and the smile suited him quite well. It was a distant glance and emanating from him. Ragged clothes aside, he was about how I envisioned a fairy tale prince might look. Though I knew quite well those only existed in fiction. Real nobles are terrible, miserable, ransible people. After a few visits, we started having little conversation outside our business transactions. He told me her name was Mel and Nellie. And his sister was named Nellie. And I told him mine. Mel was only 17, only a year older than me. Then one day, he invited me outside for a walk. It's not healthy. Hey, it's not healthy to hold up inside all the time. You got this beautiful lake right here. What do you say we take a little walk around the shoreline? I was going to turn him down, but my mouth seemed to disagree with my mind. And next thing I knew, I was taking a walk with someone the first time in years. Although with, I peacefully restrained because I kept my distance from him as we walked. Mel seemed disappointed with the unwillingness to get any closer. I seemed to bring myself, but I couldn't bring myself to trust him that much yet. Nonetheless, I was momentous enough occasion that I felt justified describing as such. I sure made him uncomfortable on numerous occasions during our walks, so I acted disagreeable would be an understatement. Anytime we closed the gap between us, I stepped a little further away. Every response I gave was cut and repeatedly shot him down whenever he started getting wistful and sentimental. The Vagana of 4 years might have been a little softer with him, a little more human. Maybe she would have given him a little smile or a pout instead. But that girl was long gone. I despised the humanity that once started taking root into me. And I endeavored to be something different. In one instance, he heard a robin chirping and said, "If I had wings like a bird, maybe I could be free too." To which I responded, "There's not a single creature. There is not a single creature in this world that isn't free." What? What? Birds regularly get shot down by hunters of prey and prey on them by the larger birds. Oh. The idea that they are free is nothing more than man's short-sighted delusion. Sorry, I guess. No, I should be apologizing. I wasn't trying to attack you. I simply lack the ability to properly empathize with others. I do not understand people. So please, if I say something that upsets you or makes you uncomfortable, don't assume that was my intentions. Sure. Maybe you're just hiding it. Or maybe you just don't know it yet. But I think you got more empathy than you're letting on. Surely, you can't say nothing affects you at all. You are human. At one point, that was true. Although perhaps somewhat difficult for others to see. I felt great beauty in the world when I knelt before the gravestones. But such sentiments have long since been lost to me. So, you don't have to be so closed off. I might not be able to do much for you, but I do want you to know you better. I want to understand you. So if you feel like talking about yourself, just know that you got an eager pair of ears here. Okay? If there were ever someone who could understand me, if there was ever someone who could understand what I am now, who could empathize with me, who could have been through the trials at a great time of mine, and they would not be human. What do you mean? That you would need to be far removed from any idea of humanity to have a chance at understanding me. Regardless, I do appreciate your kind words. Sure. So, out of curiosity, do you have anyone really important to you in your life? Not at the moment. Does that mean you used to? I'd love to hear about them, if you don't mind. They're all long dead. 4 years ago, something unpleasant occurred. As a result of that, I was forced to part ways with the people who taught me that humans have the capability of kindness. Oh, I'm very sorry. Well then, if conditions worsens again, come see me. Farewell. Come see me. Farewell. Hey, maybe we could walk a little slower next time? So more time to talk. I want to get to know you better. I'll consider it. Alright. So long. Bye. See you soon. Oh, it's conscious of cold. I'm getting tired, guys. I was conscious in how cold and distant I was being towards him. I had no interest in changing anything. Not that I even knew how to anymore. I had never known practically well how to choose the right words, the proper way to act in various circumstances. But what little knowledge I had possessed long since been lost. I assumed that this, after I had said to him, well, but now asked me to do another walk again. But I was wrong. He did the very next time he came from Ensigns, and every time after that as well. Hey, so I was thinking, but you're a really good singer if you wanted to. A singer? Yeah. You really got this pretty voice. I think it'd be nice for you to try to sing it. I'm sorry. It's not my place to tell you what to do. You hardly talk. Why would I think you want to sing? I'm glad we're on the same page. Never again. Sorry about that, really. Anyway, I don't know who first came up with that idea to sing. You could brighten someone's day with the soul, with the sound of your voice. You're kind of amazing, don't you think? It's almost like magic. Oh, and there are the battle songs too, for getting soldiers fired up for combat. Battle? Now, there's a word never heard, never expected to hear from you. I mean, I am a guy. I admire anyone who had strength to go to battle. I could never ever do it myself, though. The sight of blood makes me sick, and I barely know which ends of the sword you're supposed to grab. You're a noble, aren't you? What need you have knowing how to use a sword? That's what I used to think. But now I'm thinking should have gotten training. I may not have been a soldier, but I need to be strong. I could have avoided so much if I was. And Nellie wouldn't have lived in a run-down shack in the middle of nowhere. As I recall, he once said he was forced from his house after a dispute over the rightful heir was. High society sounds like endless fun. I'm sorry. Whew. I'm sorry, I'm sure you don't care about any of this. No, you're fine. I'm the one who asked. Thanks. I want you to know I really do appreciate it. It's nice just being able to talk about this stuff to someone. You're naturally so sociable. I'm sure you can find plenty of others willing to listen. I don't get into town as much, not even to run errands, so I'm kind of an outsider. You're my only friend right now. I hope that wasn't too presumptuous of me. Call me whatever you like. Oh, thank goodness. Well, we should do this more often. We should do this, talk more, get to know each other better, become better friends. To what end? No end. Just, having friends is better than being alone, that's all. I see. I'll be heading back now. See you again. Yeah. See you soon, Morgana. Little by little, his words are getting closer to reaching the old me. Not to provoke an actual response, of course. That wasn't his fault. I locked myself up too deeply. I no longer knew how to express emotions. most especially those that results from human warmth. However, I regain enough of something to feel sort of nostalgic in my interactions with Mel. I thought perhaps with enough time, compared to the years before prior, shortly thereafter, he threw it all into wind with a single utterance. I'll take anything at this point to make her better. Now they're closer because it's so close up. I'll even take a miracle if I get one, if I can get it. He was very exhausted that day, much more than usual. His sister's condition has begun to get worse. That one muttered word set off a spark in my mind. I seemed back in time, well beyond what I thought humanity 4 years ago, to my very origin. I was the daughter of God. My blood had healing properties. In that instance, I remembered that there was only one course of action that I could take. Without a moment's hesitation, I informed her that miracles did exist. That I was born a saint. That my blood had miraculous power. That after leaving the village from birth, power had only ever been misused. First by the Lord for the sick banquets, then by me for letting laid so idle. Now it's time for me to correct that. He was a kind-hearted young man who loved his sister, who deserved this blessing more than them. I told him everything. At first he was surprised, but he never once accused me of lying. Whew, getting tired. Whew. I know, modern-ish, I know where this is from. Well, sister slept upon the simple bed. Nellie! She's a sweet little girl who looked like she'd been quite spirited, if not for ill. Both she and her brother have beautiful flaxen hair. They look as if they've gone yanked from a painting. Seeing them there, I wanted to do everything I could do to help them. Everything I could to help them. To ensure their happiness. All I knew I had to be able to do so. No longer would I be the one receiving others' charity. I could be the one giving it again. And so I made a new cut on my mostly healed arm. For the briefs, along with a flash of him applying ointment, appeared in my mind, but I quickly cast it off. The flaxen-haired girl showed signs of recovering as a result of my miracle. The boy came to my cottage overjoyed to thank me. I was extremely proud of myself. I felt like for once I'd actually saved someone's life. I'd finally been able to use my gift to help someone truly good. After the miracle, he stopped referring to me as his friend. Understandably so. No one could think of themselves as equal to someone who performed miracles. A few years reference, they were all feeling that came from the same place. An inability to think of me as human, who experienced the world the same as the way that he did. It saw me abnormal. I always been fine with that. It was how it was supposed to be. Being different was what I always wanted. And in some ways, it was what he kept going. Seeing him put more and more distance between us. Should have been bothered in the slightest. But I continued to offer his sister more blood. No matter how distant he grew. Eventually stopped visiting me on walks, inviting me on the walks. It didn't matter. I could serve my duty to perform miracles regardless. He would simply knock on my college door and say, sister fell ill again. Would you come perform another miracle? And no longer did he say, see you again when we part our ways. Back in my village, everyone feared and revered me as a saint. It filled me with a childish sense of superiority, but there was no superiority now. Only a prickling the soft and chill in my heart. I was no longer the child I once been. I changed. I learned what warmth felt like. My memories of that time was vague and ethereal, but the feelings they had created lived on deep within me. For the time, I felt a warm formality around Mel, which only made me yearn for him to treat me that way again. I wanted to be able to open up to someone once more, though I never said as much out loud. Gloomy day after gloomy day passed, and then I received a new visitor. Cut! Are you the witch with the beautiful blood? How did he... Why did he sound like man? Why did he sound like the man who slaughtered the slaves and made carriage laughing all the while? What was he doing in my cottage? I thought he went off somewhere never to be seen again. I thought he was out of my life for good. Why? Why? Why'd he call me a witch? How do you know my blood had powers? Had Mel told him? Or maybe he's taking naive little sister gone running around, blabbing about it. I should have been clear with them, made absolutely certain that they knew to keep their mouths shut. Please leave. I took almost sure to get those two words out of my voice shaking. I could hear the screams before years ago echoing in my mind. All I could see the limbs flying, the blood pooling at my feet. My heart was pounding so hard I could feel it plushing in my ears. Please stay away from my home. After all that time I spent forgetting about everything, closing myself up, finally finding peace, why did this monster who reminded me of my senseless voice, of senseless violence and death, have to come back into my world? I never want to go through anything like that again. I am in need of your blood. Could you not spare a little? I have nothing to spare for a man like you. My blood is only for the sick and the needy. So please go away. Stay away from me. I'm begging you. Get away from this place. You're a murderer. I have nothing to do with you. So please, just go away. As you say. Is he gone? Thank heaven. My eyes feel like they're burning. No, Morgana, you have to be strong. Don't let it get inside of you. You have nothing to fear. No, stop. Fight back. I swore I'd never cry again. Everything that built up came pouring out on the streets. Tears soaked my face. I wiped them away, but still my hands came back. With each passing second felt very to ordinary, helpless little girl. No. That's what I've always been. My life has been putting on airs. In reality, I wasn't even strong enough to withstand a little fright. Even with a horde man get on, I could rest easy. Can't be sure if he's gone for good. Maybe just waiting for the moment of opportunity. He targeted me again. The following day I took a brief walk with the noble boy. I couldn't bring my talk to what happened to him, and how much distance we used to keep between us. I doubt he'd be willing to do anything to help. 3 days, 3 nights, I shook in terror, thinking, considering, speculating, wandering, hardly getting a wink of sleep. I was trying to still, so I paced in circles around the chair by the fireplace. It's too soon to be sure I'm safe. I can't go inside unless I absolutely must. Not even just a water lake. He could be way in the shadows to take my life. It's not safe here anymore. I should have said anything about my powers. They're only ever brought me trouble. I should have probably found somewhere else to live. And where? How far I could even get on my own? How could he be out there? Waiting for the door. I wouldn't need any help. Don't be a fool. And what's your gonna help me? The board barely even wants to talk to me anymore. All I wanted was a quiet life. Is it him? Did he return? Calm yourself. No, it's harder than that. It's not him. Who's there? It's me. Us. I'm not here about Nelly today. I'm sorry for being so distant lately. What? I want to talk things over. It's fine if you consider. If you can. Then maybe we could ask him. I want to talk to you too. And here's the cut. That's so cool. Cut. Ah! Ah! My arm. It hurts, don't you? Wow. Take it. That's yours. She's right. Should last you long enough. What do you mean to take? What do you mean take my arm? What do you mean take? What do you do? Why my arm? Nothing personal. I just need your blood. Without it, she'll lose her crutch. She needs the money. I need some way of getting enough money to keep her church running. So the Lord made me an offer. The Lord? Why him again? If we brought in the witch with the miracle blood, he would finance a whole new church for her. So don't take it personally. You get to be the sacrifice. You two get to be the sacrifice. To keep a church from collapsing. To keep a world from collapsing. So don't take it personally, witch. Cheers. Saint's blood and good fortune to all. You're a damn witch wearing a saint's skin. Yikes, that was gruesome. No, I'm not a witch. If they cut off my left arm, I'm not reading all of that shit. I wasn't born to spend my whole life suffering. And here we are. About time. There's your witch. Tell me, you did her harm her, dog. I smell blood. You only instructed me not to kill her. Mistakes were made, limbs were lost. Clean up all the blood I got on me. No one suspects anything. That you were able to immediately recognize that was smell of blood says quite a lot of bit, Lord. You have killed before, haven't you? Look, enough yapping. She's alive, yes? Of course. So that's what she saw. No tears. Now that's a good girl. it would simply would be the same if you cried and blubber like the lowly little slave and whore. Wah! Welcome, witch. You breathe your blood to people now, and only me. Is that you? Oh, you remember me? What an honor, truly splendid honor. How could I forget? How could I forget all the pain and humiliation you put me through? How could I forget the blood and savage you loves to hold? Haven't had enough, have you? They just great. I don't want to read this all again. So this is what she was singing the entire time. I see. So I'm the one who ruined your life. It doesn't change anything. I'll have to witch up and see his plan. Oh Father, heaven, God, and earth. My life is becoming nothing, shattered and empty. Yikes. Good day. A good day, Lord Brainer. Not hungry. I need some time to rest. So don't bother me. Yes, sir. And make sure everyone knows to stay away from my room. By your command, my lord. This is sad for all of them, really. Why? Why was she at the lakeside? How could this happen? There must be something I can do. Some way to fix this. No, don't fool yourself. You damn buffoon. There's no fixing that. Her arm's been cut off. Her mind broken. If only that farcical dog hadn't done such a damn idiot. That she might actually be in proper shape. Fucking fuck! I'm the one who gave the order. I'm the one who gave the order. The only one to blame for this is me. I spent a whole goddamn day regretting it. But there's nothing to go back to what's already been done. God damn it. What the hell am I supposed to do? What can I do? Could I could set her free. And if I were yes, I find a good doctor. There's nothing getting her back, but you can at least patch her up. This is all my fault. So I'll do right by her. Look after her myself. Make sure she's taken care of for the rest of her life. Are you putting out your mind, Jacopo? Why would she ever stay with you? Damn it! I can't even stay focused. Where is that? What is it? What is there to think about, boy? You already know what you must do. Get out of here, spirit! When will you learn your damn lesson? Just stay dead, damn it. That's the last thing I need, this pathetic ghost constantly sticking its nose in my business. Strong words for the man who can't even keep his head in the presence of said pathetic ghost. The answer's plain as day, boy. You proceed exactly as planned. Make the witch blood into miracle elixir and distribute it at the church. All it takes is this, as well as winning the people's favor for supporting their new beloved church. This fine scheme. I'm impressed you came up with it, boy. Silence. Was it? That was before I knew she was the witch. What does it matter? The girl's gonna be dead soon, regardless. Progress and growth is all comes at a price. You need simply accept the price. It has already been paid. Tell me, is a girl worth throwing the entire venture aside? Knowing you'll lose all the good you've made again from it, and more. She's Morgana. She's mine. A child could tell you which is more value. You bear the weight in this entire land, boy. Don't try to cast that aside because you killed one little girl. She isn't dead. She's still. Surely you can't call that living. She's not. She is. And you killed her. I didn't. I did not. And there's no turning back. Why are you so upset about this, boy? Constant slaves have perished at your command. You had the slum rats who tried to bite you slaughter. And only now you consider about another's life? Surely you're not clinging to your naive sentimental, are you? Oh, but she's different from those disposable sacks of flesh. She's dear to me. We have some wonderful memories together. I love her. Enough. You come too far to seek down to the throne. No matter how much you may have cared for the girls before, it's all the question now. You cannot have her. What a nobleman marries is for political purpose. It be connections, resources, appearance, always something to gain. And taking a nameless peasant girl will make you laugh and stuck for the land. So lock her up and drain her until there's nothing left. Shut your damn mouth, accursed spirit. You don't have any idea what you're talking about. You know the first thing how I feel about her. Thing is, we shared. Wait a minute. What's going on? How the hell you know any of that? Took you long enough, boy. How did I realize? You were never the kind of a man to speak of progress and growth. That I wasn't. What the hell? What are you? I've already told you. I am the curse, known as the Lord of the Land. Or, if you need to put in some terms for your simple mind, I am your sickness. You're out of your mind. I am not sick. I am not the one who's of his mind, boy. This is the world of madness and disease, but not of spirits. The throne drives all who sit upon it to madness. Power of sanity. A man could only have one, but all the faster with the grasp of his mind. But he has no one who decides to shield him from his enemies. I am not John Francisco Brandon, and there is no way of you to banish the spirit. Your mind is broken on the verge of collapse, and there is nothing you can do to stop it. No. You're lying. My mind is not broken. I am perfectly sane. There's not a grain of madness in me. But tell me, Jacopo, is this the power you have always sought? Is that how you spend the days at night of fighting the architect? What? How are you? I thought you wanted power in order to protect those you care about most. But here you are, using the power to destroy their lives. Or is the power the only thing you care about protecting anymore? Shut up! Shut up. Is that what I took to the blade all those years ago? Enough. You don't have any idea. Do you have any place? You don't have any place criticizing me. You're just a stupid child with his head in the clouds. Who think you become some kind of a hero? If you hadn't been so foolish, I wouldn't have been in this place at all. You're right. We chose the wrong path. And there's no way for us to get back to the right one any longer. Wow. This wasn't what I had wanted at all. I had wanted all the future I dreamed of, the outcome I'd hoped for. But who did I even have to explain that to? And who would even understand if I tried? There were walls as high as the eye could see on both sides of his path. Forward was the only way I could go. I killed my own I had killed my old friends and comrades. Lost everything along the way. But I only had marched on. But that was all I could do. No power. The only thing that was in my hand. So I make a despot of myself. Bury all my feelings for her. You two my march straight to hell. I had no other choice. Every day I felt like a slog through a swamp with no end in sight. Though I did everything I kept to keep up appearance when I wasn't alone. I masked every trace of my discord beneath a vile, bottomless confidence. I had reached a point where nearly everything I said or did in public was an act, a farce even. Among the mistake the Far Eastern dog had made. He was a young man, and there was considerable possibility he was nobility, which means I could have simply disposed of the boy until I had more information. Between this and the decision to cut off Morgana's arm, I was quite a fool of thinking I could tame a beast. Though of course my biggest mistake was coming up with the scheme in the first place. Soon after locking Morgana in the tower, I summoned the boy, making it abundantly clear he was not to tell anyone what he knew. Then sealing the deal by turning him into a co-conspirator. The boy was irrationally timid in part, I presume because the dog had already threatened him. All it took was to keep him nice and obedient, with a stern glance and a few choice words. I hired the dog to be my bodyguard and assigned the boy to administrative serving posts of the new church grounds. Having been originally built as a second mirror and a manor for the previous lord, the church was still more mansion than church, which meant there was abundance of rooms for the boy to stay in. The oh so familiar garden, and then I summoned the Satanist there to serve the face of the church. She watched me in the grounds all day, and at night she could stay in a cottage safe distance from the church. I also informed her that I stored my money and valuables in the observation tower, and that she would be in charge with treason if she trespassed. She was a naturally trusting woman, and she seemed grateful for everything I was doing for her, so no doubt she would spill anything. Though even if she did, 3 keys were required into the tower, one held by me, one by the dog, and one by the boy. So all 3 were in this until the witch died. I know that fireplace. One of my aides dig around for the information for the noble. Mel was his name, and he claimed he's been banished from his home. But I couldn't take him at his word. I had to be absolutely sure, so that when the witch did die, I could eliminate him. Dog too, of course. No one who knew anything could be allowed to live. That said, he seemed like he could put up a better fight than the boy. To be a little more careful in choosing how to take him out. I was too worried, though. I was the Lord, after all. So long as that much didn't change, I could do just about anything. Great. I know that shot. But once we started distributing the miracle elixir, the church followed and grew far quicker than I expected. Numerous reports that people have been cured of disease spread through the city, and for long, even the healthy came to seek up its power. Every smile that walked up to the chapel put another black stain on my spirit. Her blood really was miraculous. And it was then that I understood what the last Brainer had held all those banquets. He wasn't just torturing a little girl. He was feasting on miracles. Now the word was spreading and I knew the rumors were true. I had lost my final escape route. The plan was falling entirely because her blood was just ordinary. It was failing. Forward was the only route that remained. One day the foreign dog said to me, "Everything's proceeding exactly as you said it would, my lord. I didn't believe in miracles, but hey, seeing all this has tempted me to change my mind. We're right. Our girl's life is indeed worth of exchange." I wasn't sure how I responded, though by that point I largely just rattled off a bitter snark at insult reflecting a purpose response to anything. So I called the dog a dog, perhaps giving a laugh. Most nights I could no longer sleep without the aid of alcohol. I was pretty sure none of it was poison, but I spent a lot of time throwing it back regardless. Braino's crackling echoes in my chamber. The words twisted and twisted and minded. Quite frankly, I was considering taking my own life, but I wouldn't let myself run away from that. Had I done what I had done, what I was doing to her, I had said nothing. Had I said anything, I cannot read this. Had I said I would continue my march straight down to hell. That was exactly what I planned to do. Again and again I repeated myself. I feel nothing for her. I never loved her. She's another faceless peasant. I have no memories of my past life. The days turned to months, and soon spring was upon us. They finally got shackles to put me on. I was given quite the scare when I tried to climb the wall. Isn't that funny? Look, I made a flower crown. Festival presentation seems to be going well. Hey, aren't you gonna go? I'm not going anywhere. You're a strange one. It was much nicer out there than it is in here. If anyone was to leave, it wouldn't be me. Huh? Say, I've been wondering. Who are you anyway? Huh? I was created to carry your pain. That doesn't answer the question. I cannot give you any other one, though. I could carry your pain and offer you someone to talk to. It's at least the remaining flame of hope in your heart doesn't flicker out. How very noble, very honorable of you. It seems like a saint. I don't know how you could stand living like that. What? What's so funny? Nothing. Just, you don't remember anything, do you? You don't consider my work to be saintly, but if you perceive it that way, then that's thanks to you. Because that's who you were, Morgana. You're not making any sense. That's fine, my dear. Knowing what I carry in my spirit would only cause you pain. So I just beg you to live on, not to give up hope. Where am I supposed to find hope chained in a tower? You were with me long enough. You seen me here. Your body is on the verge of death. My body is on the verge of death, and the black cloud fills my spirit. I despise those men, every one of them who did this to me. I want to kill them myself, and I hate that I lack the power to do so. And I want to place a curse on them all. Don't talk like that, Morgana. Please keep your spirits pure. Don't talk about cursing people. There's still hope. Someone will come to save you. Maybe one of the three will have a change of heart. Or maybe someone else will come through the door. Just have a little patience, alright? There's no point. Even when someone does come, I have nowhere to return to. I have nowhere. That's not true. Remember all those years ago when the Lord chained you up? Someone came and set you free then. And someone will. No one's coming. There was a miracle. A one-time miracle. That flaxen-haired boy, he lied to me. This world is nothing but betrayal. No one is going to set me free anymore. Actually, there's one possibility for my salvation. Perfect. Then we'll wait for them to come. Yes, let's. Let's wait for an angel to come. What? What? An angel to come and set me free. Her mind is far gone. Morgana. Deliver divine punishment to the sinners who defied me. Maria. Morning, Maria. You here bright and early? Hey. Yeah, not like I have much else going on my plate. Well, aren't you quite the workaholic? You know, you're going to be at the age where most girls would close up shop and settle down with a man or three. You know who's a man who wants to get a hitch with these kind of bitch? Fair enough, most girls in this biz are rough around the edge, but you're rough around the way through. Like how you go tongue twister. Like how you got like how you got all up in the client's face the other day. Now that was a sight to see. But anyway, the blacksmith brought this by for you. Huh? Oh, I was supposed to pick it up myself. Special thanks for being such a faithful patron, he said. Never met another prostitute who were regulars at the smithy. That's one heck of a hobby. Maybe so, but it's the only hobby I have. Not gonna lie, that's a little scary. What kind of girl collects knives? What kind of girl doesn't like something nice and shiny? And there's nothing more to it, right? Just a collection for you? Like, use or anything? Like I said, they're shiny. And when have I ever drawn a knife on any of you? Never, right? Oh no, not to use them on us. The thought never crossed my mind. I know how much you care about us girls. I just mean, you're not planning to do anything like dangerous? Oh no, hell no. You're way overthinking that. If you say so. It just looks like this one was made for a special occasion or something. You even have your name engraved on it. What's so strange about that? Collectors got their names engraved on shit on all the time. I once had an ex-mercenary for a client. He told me people engrave their names on weapons for all sorts of reasons. Then for someone you love to help strengthen your resolve, your own name is a symbol of your honor. Is this for? How much honor does a dirty old whore like me even have? Like I said, it's just my hobby. I like shiny things that there are all there is to it. Now hand it over. Promise me. You won't do anything dangerous with it. Pinky swear. That's... Thanks. Instead of being saturated gold, it's all gray. Sorry, friend. It's for 4 years since I raided the broth, and we're still barely getting back on our feet. It would never be the same as before, though. Not because we had to move locations, but because the slums are shrinking away to almost nothing, thanks to the Lord's renovations. Not to mention all the new foreigner women who sold their service up in the city, blistering marketplace. Most of the regulars are taking their business there. People aren't drawing in much in the way of new blood either. Better options to get their rocks off. Only the real oddballs went for the rundown warehouse, the little back alley in the slums. it was enough to keep us afloat. But we hardly last another 6 months. A year if we're really lucky. And while we were down here fighting to make it by day to day, our very gracious Lord was planning a festival to celebrate the spring harvest. Celebrations were taking place around the new church set up across the river, and with this being the first annual harvest festival, the whole city was rallying in jolly mood. Everyone except for us slum rats, of course. The merchants, the upper class, and even most of the regular citizens were in love with the Lord. Public opinion took to him like a new church opening store. I presume it was all part of his grand plan. Me, on the other hand, I was far from pleased, and he abandoned us in the slums, left all his old friends out to dry because he wanted an extra gold, a little extra gold. And like hell, I was gonna stand for that. Hey, I know that. Word to the grapevines, the Lord and his bodyguards spent a lot of time at the new church. And not everyone called the Satanists worked there. Heading out on some kind of miracle elixir. I assume it was her that he had business with. But his business doesn't matter so much the fact that he was there. There's no way he was getting to the fortifications around his manor on the hill. But the church wouldn't have been nearly as well protected. Last night I snuck around to the ground to survey the area. I had no sign of any guards or the people at all. So it would likely be difficult for me to slip into the building and hide there until he showed up. Tonight, I brought everything. I was going all in. These past 4 years, my feelings for him have been, well, mixed, to put it lightly. I knew damn well he was the same man I grew up with. But a part of me deep down wanted to believe the man was still there. That maybe he had some reason that I just wasn't seeing it. That I was interpreting him somehow. But if I was right and the old Jacopo was gone, I would have settled it once for all night. Once and for all night. It's quiet in there. Doors locked tight, figures. I'm the other way. I don't want to get in. Can break a window. Not make this much noise though. Whoa, she got out of the way. It's Mel. Now, who do we have here? Sitting for the mansion. Maybe he's got a key. If I was gonna bail if I ran across anyone, that might not be necessary. How much Hey! How much longer am I gonna have to deal with this? I cannot believe he's holding a festival. He's gotta be out of his mind. I'm too tired to worry about this tonight. Don't move. What? Hey, oh, no one's squealing either. Why do people just look big? I know that's gonna get me copyright. Oh, and when people this baby carve, I'll carve your brand new mouth. What? Who are you a thief? Don't worry about your shit. I just want to answer a couple questions. You do that for me. You have to keep your throat in one piece. What do you want from me? Hey, what do you want from me? What are you doing here? Delora comes by here pretty often, right? I want to have a little chat with him. What? Are you out of your mind? I can't see the Lord. Oh, alright. Nighty night then. Wait! I'm not fucking around. I don't care who you are. If you're gonna cover for him, then say your prayers and curse your bad luck. It's gonna be, little man. Don't hurt me, please. Where's the Lord? He's not here. He's not here. Well, it was nice to know you. Slow down. He's not here now. But he'll be here at dawn. Is that so? I'm not comfortable saying more out of here. Someone might see us. It'll be safe if we go into my room. We can talk more there. And how do I know you're not gonna split the second I let you go? I swear. I don't know you either. But you're not here to just talk to the Lord, are you? I'm doing this not because I agree with him. If anything, I'm on your side. You're better at you're better at sucking dick than most of the prostitutes I know. I mean it. At the very least, we can have a productive conversation if we're both on edge like this. Huh. You got just the head on your shoulders for someone who was within seconds of losing it. Alright, you convinced me. Either way, little man. But you so much breathe suspiciously, your head will roll. I get it. On your feet. A glider of someone without a spine. I definitely have trouble sleeping after this if I had to kill a complete stranger. I know this room. Well. Nice looking room you have for yourself, little man. So. So the Lord's gonna be here bright and early, you said, but why? Well, Dave telling Sam if he was here to play friendly with all of his flowers. But no one's gonna be here at the requisite at dawn. They're not his followers. They're patrons of the church and true believers in the Word of God. Cannot say I'm convinced. Looks more like to me that he built himself a damn cult. Now my question. The Lord has important business attends in the morning. I'm not stupid. I'm asking what his business is. I cannot tell you that. Only that he'll be here early in the morning. You think I'm just gonna take you at your word? Oh, can't tell you why, but I promise you'll be here. It's really, really important just to wait here until morning. So I set my thumb, rolling around, and whoosh, I'm never seen again. No! They answer my question. What's he gonna be here so early? He's gonna about to check on some valuable assets. Say again. I help assist assets. But not because I want to. He's threatening me. And what are these assets? It's, spill it out. I can't. I really can't. Anything but that. What if I say I kill you if you don't? Go ahead. Go right ahead. Huh? Threaten me all you want. That's the one thing I never tell anyone. Guess they'll make you disappear if you spill? If not, it's not for my safety I care about. It's my sister. They will kill my sister if I tell anyone. So I can't say anything. You have a sister? She's my own family. I see. So the Lord's blackmailing you to help manage his assets? And part of that is he's holding your sister hostage. Not directly, but essentially, yes. That's sick. Run, fuck! I don't have any other family. I don't have any family myself. But a few years back, there was this girl who was like a sister to me. What? Oh. And he felt kind of the same way about her, or at least as I thought. But now he's fallen so far at taking some kid's sister hostage? Maybe I'm reading to this, but do you actually know the Lord? I did. Like a former mistress or something? Oh, hell no. Regret. So, you used to be a noble? No, you dingus. I'd be particularly dignified. Yep, just dirty old whore here. Sorry to disappoint. What? No, I never said that. Anyway, that's all you need to know about me and the Lord. Alright. Now, what about you? You know him for long? About 6 months, maybe. So no, but you've been in regular contact with him that whole time. Tell me, what's he like these days? Don't worry, the night's taking a nap. Just tell me whatever you can. I'm curious. I don't know much, but alright. The only time I really see the noise is gonna be, when we meet to check up on his assets. We don't chat or anything like that. It seems to be in a foul mood. Even though you're working together. Like I said, I'm not doing it because I want to. I just want up in this position. Go on. I can tell you this. Conscience can do the things he doesn't care much the pain he caused. And anyone who doesn't fall in line is eliminated. His reputation is improving because he got the Satanists vouching for him. But it's a load of crap. He's a villain and a tyrant. Sounds like the previous lord. Huh? Previous lord? You're not from, are you, little man? No, I live far away. And I just ended up here recently. Well, that explains it. There was a different guy on the throne upon 40 years ago. It was and he was a vicious, barbaric fuck who treated people like his plaything. He would murder slaves by the dozens just for the shits. He did some very bad things to a little girl. This new lord is exactly the same. People are just another accommodating to him, and I'm just gonna stop this here for this episode. Whew. It's a long episode, but we made some headway. We're getting closer. I feel like another 2.5 hours and then we're done with everything. So I want to say thank you everyone for enjoying the live stream. Thank you all for coming in. If you did, if you watched the video later, thank you so much. Like I said, I want to start this all the way back in the year 2000 and remember 2019. So it's literally been like a year and a half since I started all of this, and it's just been crazy. And I honestly think that this is pretty awesome to read. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining the live stream. I'll see you guys next stream, so I'll see you all later next time. Have a good one.